What's up? HonorHammer26 made my 23rd Q&A. If you'd like to send me a Q&A question, please don't hesitate to do so. Go in my inbox, send me a personal message, pro wrestling, sports, whatever, as many questions you want. You guys know the drill. Thank you for everyone who sent me questions for this Q&A. It's the first one in about 2 months, so let's get started. First 4 from Pads Chargers 2009. What are your thoughts on Cliff Lee signing with the Phillies? Alright, for those of you who don't know, I am a Texas Rangers fan. And I was clamoring for Cliff Lee to stay with the Rangers. However, that did not happen, and now the Phillies have one of the most dominant looking rotations in baseball history. My thoughts on him signing with him are just that. I really wish he'd stay with the Rangers. Without him, we still have a pretty good rotation, but with him, we would have been one of the best in baseball. But now, the Phillies just look really, really good. My World Series picks right now are the Phillies and the Red Sox. Even though I am a Rangers fan and they have a decent shot at getting back, but it's not going to happen unless we really have good pitching. Our hitting has always been there, but our pitching needs to come through, and that's what made us good. That's what got us the World Series last year. So, and it should be a fun team to watch with so much great hitting and pitching, for the Phillies. All right, next question from Patch Chargers 2009. What are your thoughts on Zach Greinke going to the Brewers? The Rangers' second choice, my favorite baseball team, was Zach Greinke. He did go to the Brewers. I wish we could have gotten him, but I think Zach Greinke will do fine in the National League because hitting is better in the American League, in my opinion. If he was so good on a shitty team like the Royals, he'll be pretty good on it. He'll do even better on a team like the Brewers. I know they're not a top-tier NL team. They're probably a mediocre team, but he'll probably do well, and he should be a fun pitcher to watch coming into September. He could come out of nowhere and win the Cy Young this year, but there are so many other candidates in the NL that he pretty much won't. I can guarantee he won't win, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. He's really good, and I got to see him a lot because I'm a Rangers fan and they played a lot. I think of any non-AL West opponent, we played the Royals the most, so I get to see him a lot, and he was very good. All right, again from Pads Chargers 2009. Will John Wall be the next Chris Paul or Dan Williams? If so, why? I think you mean just a dominant passer and scorer at the point guard position. Is what I think you mean there. And if so, he needs the tools around him. Like, for instance, to be a good passer, you need good scorers around you, or people who can shoot. Deron Williams has that now on the Nets, and did have it on the Jazz. Chris Paul has had it on the Hornets, and he's rumored might go to the Knicks. Hopefully not, because I really don't want the whole dynasty thing to start in the NBA. But Chris Paul does have that around him. John Wall is getting that. He has pretty much the best target he has right now would be JaVale McGee. Mike Bibby is now on the Heat. It's the second straight year we've had a buyout where we've gotten jack shit in return. Actually, both those players now in the Heat, Junior Slogowskis and Mike Bibby. John Wall just is a very, very entertaining player and is a very, very good point guard. He just needs to develop his skills a little more. Less turnovers, and it'll just come with time. He's still like 19 or 20, so he's only a year older than me. It's kind of freaky, but he develop his skills, and then it'll just come with the territory. It happens with every NBA player. Very few have come in the league and been dominant their whole career. They've had some rush patches in the beginning. Kobe Bryant wasn't just dominant from the day one. He had time to develop. And then final question from Pads Chargers 2009. If you own a wrestling company, name one WWE, one TNA, one New Japan, one Noah, and one ROH star you'd want to build your company around. All right, WWE would be John Cena. Biggest name in pro wrestling right now, especially with what he's doing with The Rock. Definitely a name to bring people to the company. That would be great. TNA. I'm gonna say AJ because he is their biggest name, and people have heard about him and they would want to check him out. He's probably the biggest name a lot of WWE fans have just heard randomly without knowing who he is. Maybe with Samoa Joe being the other guy, or Sting. So I would choose one of those three, and I would personally have AJ because I think he can be a very good face. And he can play heel as well, but AJ's better as a face. New Japan, I'm going to say Hiroshi Tanahashi. How much I love Goto. But if I'm starting a company, Tanahashi's just an all-around great person to put in. You can't ask for a better worker, a better high flyer. Just a better all-around wrestler than Tanahashi. So I'd say him. Noah. It's hard to see anyone but Sugera right now. He's just in the middle of one hell of a title reign. I mean, it's been about a year and a half now that he's been champion. He's just looked awesome. So Sugera, and then ROH. I'm gonna try and do a different one for ROH. I mean, I could just say Davey and be done with it, but I kind of already have the worker part of it taken care of. I mean, you need someone different. I mean, you really don't have a good heel among that group. So in ROH, the best heel in ROH right now. You know what? He's not the best heel in ROH right now, but I'm going to say Kenny King. An up-and-comer, just a guy on the rise that could definitely take over in the future, and he is a heel, and he does a good job with it, so I would say Kenny King. And I think there would be 5 guys, core guys, if you had in your company, that would be great. Alright, question from quote Nevermore 432. Do you think that ROH's recent releases have the people working for ROH believing there is going to be a lack of DVD sales, so they are just adding comps so they don't seem lackluster? I think it's just to make sure that you have more purchases in general. Some of the shows where they did add bonus discs, like the Best of Nigel McGuinness DVD was on Survival of the Fittest. I mean, that was obviously placed there for a reason. And some of the B shows, maybe the DVD sales are down, but so yes, for that reason. But with the bigger shows like the iPay-per-views and the New York shows, Chicago shows, I don't think those are down at all. So they don't have them. But for the shows that wouldn't get that many buys anyway, why not put something on there that the fans haven't seen? I think that's a great idea. To make the DVDs up, it's kind of a common sense move, but sometimes being simple works a lot, and I think in this situation it does. I finally got to see a lot, some of the stuff I had never seen before, based off of just those matches. I'd never seen Age of Insanity, and I got to see Nigel and Generica for the first time. That was an awesome match. I'd already seen all 3 Joe Punks that were on Allied Forces, however, but that's a different story. Alright, first of 5 questions from Dre Dedon 16. First question, who are your 5 favorite rappers? I am a big fan of rap music. I like kind of everything. That's kind of my thing. Favorite right now, would, in no particular order, B.O.B. would gotta be up there. Nas, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, and Childish Gambino would have to be the 5, with probably B.O.B. being 1, Wiz Khalifa being a slight second. I'm just getting Childish Gambino now, so I'll probably put him 5, Mac Miller 3, and Nas 4th. There you go. Actually, I've seen B.O.B. live one before, and I might be seeing Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller live coming up. I'm not sure, because they're doing college tours with Snoop, too, so that should be good to see. Next question from Dre Don 16. What's your favorite WrestleMania? 17. I think I've said this before, but just how well that WrestleMania did. That was an all-around awesome show, and I just can't recommend it enough. But just the spectacular being in the Astrodome also added to the show. And I can't say enough about it. Just what an awesome WrestleMania. Next, what is your favorite restaurant? For a national chain, favorite restaurant would have to be. Be Red Robin. I don't know if that's a real national chain, but any place that's a good cheeseburger, like Five Guys, or maybe I'm trying to think of a good cheeseburger place. I probably gotta say Red Robin. If you don't have one near you, just type in redrobin.com, and you should probably find it on Google. Just all exotic burgers. I love hamburgers, so that's that. Next is what is your favorite movie of all time? I gotta say Naked Gun. For the reason being that just every time I watch that movie, I laugh hysterically. It's like the first time I'm watching it. It's so awesome, that movie. It's so funny, such a great movie. That's what when Leslie Nielsen died, I was so, I was like, and then I watched the movie. I watched like all 3 Naked Guns like back to back to back. I was like, I loved that guy as an actor, and he was great in Airplane and stuff like that too. So, I probably gotta say Naked Gun. I mean, I love sports movies too. The Natural is definitely up there. But for a non-sports movie, I mean, Naked Gun 1 has to do with sports a lot. Go straight out of the blue. I'm trying to think. iRobot was really good. Bourne Ultimatum was really good. Titanic was kind of for an older movie, like, I believe that one came out in 97. Don't quote me on that, but that was pretty good. For that, I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything right now. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Star Wars movies, so. But if you're just doing a generalization, Naked Gun's my favorite. But what is the greatest movie of all time? I mean, the greatest movie of all time, you could base that off of several things, but AFI, who rates films, has considered Citizen Kane the greatest film for the past, since it came out, or since they started ranking. It's never lost greatest film. So I gotta say Citizen Kane, with Wizard of Oz being right behind, Gone with the Wind, Chicago, stuff like that. Great movies. Actually, Chicago might be is up there with my favorite movies of all time as well. How can I forget Field of Dreams? God, that movie was awesome. All right, first of 1, 2, 3, 4 questions from Black Forest Mystic 420. What top 10 all-time Japan matches would you recommend to people to check out immediately? Okay, if you haven't seen Misawa Kawada, June of 1994. Misawa Kawada, Misawa Kobashi Kawada Taue from May of 94. Misawa Saruda, I believe August of 89. Misawa Kobashi from Halloween of 98, and then June of 99. Alright, that's 5. And then basically anything you have with a combination which garnered praise from the combination of Misawa, Kawada, Kobashi, Taue, Akiyama, Ogawa. They just tore it up in the 90s, just awesome 5-star match after awesome 5-star match, if you just go to like high spots and buy, the best of Misawa or Kobashi, or Misawa versus Kobashi for that matter, you'll see just so many great stuff. Just my personal opinion, those are definitely my top 5 if you've never seen. I'm trying to think of other stuff. I mean, Steve Williams, Kenta Kobashi, from September of 1993. Misawa Akiyama versus Kawada and Taue. I mean, they had several matches that were awesome. So yeah, there'd be around 10 there. I mean, I think it was like 7, but there's tons of options you can have. All right, next, what are 10 matches from the USA you feel must see? Okay, so let me start over. What are 10 matches from the USA you feel people must see of all time? All right. All right, all 3 Fleur Steamboats. The 3 Misawa, Michaels Undertakers. Stone Cold Rock from 17, only because of just how that was the 2 biggest stars at the time, and you should definitely check out a match between those 2. Stone Cold Triple H No Way Out 01 was a very, very awesome match. The reason I don't like Triple H today because he can do shit like that, and then look at him now. Trying to think. Both of the TLC matches, so that would give me 10. Yeah, both the TLC matches, both from WrestleMania 17 and SummerSlam 2000. There you go. Again, from Black Forest Mystic 420, do you think that the NWO maybe the best group of all time? And what's your favorite NWO moment? I do not think they are the best stable group of all time. I might give that to the Freebirds actually, because they created a rule, the Freebird rule. I might give it to them. The Von Erichs, the family, that would be good. So I'm probably gonna give it to the Freebirds for my favorite group of all time, or the best, and probably the best group of all time as well. Favorite NWO moment, however, can't beat the original. Hogan turning on WWF at the beach, the Bash at the Beach, and then joining Hall and Nash and creating the NWO. So, I'm also not the biggest fan of WCW. I've seen enough of it to get the basic knowledge of how you can use it in WWE. But and the stuff I have seen, I really haven't liked. So, I'm really not big on WCW at all. And final question, Black Force Mystic 420. Would you do a review of Dream Slam 1 or Super J Cup 1994? Because in his opinion, those are the top 2 shows of all time, and it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on them. Top 2 shows of all time, I'm not too sure I would call it that. Dream Slam 1 is definitely up. I mean, they're definitely both top 10. Maybe like top 6 or 7. Maybe probably even higher than that. I do have both in full on DVD. If you'd like to see them, write me. That's fine. I have seen both in full, so I have reviews ready. I'm Big Rat did actually a very good review of Dream Slam wants to go on his channel, and you can look at that. He did a very, very good job with it. I think he actually called it the review of the best wrestling show of all time. I wouldn't maybe not call it the best wrestling show of all time. I mean, for the sole purpose of just a pure wrestling show, it probably is this. And I might probably have to go with it, but if you want to see a review of it, I'm here if you'd like to do it. So write me a comment or something. All right, and final question from Seth Rollins Rocks. I like the name. I'm a big fan of Tyler Black. What are your thoughts on him in FCW? I am also a big fan, along with Seth Rollins Rocks. My thoughts on him in FCW is that, I don't know whether he's on NXT Season 5. I don't watch NXT anymore. Outside now that Derek Bateman was eliminated. I know Johnny Curtis won, but I really didn't even watch. If he's announced for NXT Season 5, that's awesome. I want to see him on WWE TV immediately. And FCW's done a great job. His debut match with Vance Archer, Lance Wood, whatever the hell you want to call him, was awesome. And I just can't wait for him to see him on WWE TV because I know he can do a great job. He really doesn't tone down his style at all. Or he's toned down a little bit for WWE. But one thing I had in mind is that, Trixler said a while back, and it's got me thinking, if Eddie Guerrero was still alive, and they put those two together with Vicky, how awesome would that be? And it would be awesome because Eddie Guerrero would be those would be the top 2 heels in WWE, and you could have some huge Guerrero-Cena match. That'd be awesome. Why not have Seth Rollins play that role? Be Vicky Guerrero's new boyfriend, and just Eddie Guerrero, she takes him to the top, and he wins the world title, and that would be awesome. And then you have like a Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins feud. I can dream, can't I? But how awesome would that be? But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.